Shalom Israel, Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barak Thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shemal Thumb by Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Karan Yala, the ISBK, and welcome to another installment of Nothing New Under the Sun, episode 16. Today we're going to be going over the spirit of Cain, Salakia. Right? So as I just said, we're going to be going over the spirit of Cain. And a lot of people don't understand that the spirit of Cain, what it is, and how it still thrives in the world today. Your oppressor has the same spirit that Cain had on him. First of all, let's get into the spirit of Cain. The spirit of Cain is a jealous, evil murderer. You understand? And that's exactly what your oppressor is. We see it time and time again. When your oppressor popped out of them Caucasus Mountains and seeing that humanity had something going on, they wanted to murder and steal the culture of everybody else because they don't have a real actual culture and a history. You understand? And even before they went into captivity, Salakia, not captivity, and even before they was exiled before all the rest of the nations, right? They've always had the spirit of Cain on them since the beginning, right? So let's get a couple scriptures on it. This ain't gonna be too long of a class. I just want to drop something on y'all real quick, and Lord willing, I might turn this into probably a 2-3 part series, right? So let's go to the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44, right? The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, right? This is Christ speaking. Christ is talking to Israelites at this time, but he's saying y'all of y'all father the devil, right? The great deceiver of planet Earth, right? And the great deceiver of planet Earth today is the Edomite, the so-called Caucasian, because he's deceived the world into believing that he's God, he's Christ. He's deceived the world into believing that these Caucasian people are actually nice, law-abiding citizens when they ain't nothing but jealous vagabonds and murderers. All right, Salakia. It says, and the lust of your father will ye, and the lust of your father ye will do. Right? Christ is blazing on Israelites now. Right now, he's saying the lust of your father ye will do. And what's the lust of the devil? Right? The lust of the devil is to be a murderer, to be a fornicator, to be a liar, to be a thief. Right? Uh, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. Christ said, "Your father, the devil, right? You Christians, you fake Israelites, you Caucasians, the rest of you other nations who don't give a damn about blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans." He says, uh, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth because there is no truth in him. And we're gonna get into we gonna get into that today. There's no truth in the Edomite, just like there was no truth in Cain, right? Uh, where he speaketh, where when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it, right? And we're gonna get into uh the first recorded liar in these scriptures and the father of lies, right? So with that being said, we got to go back to the beginning because Christ said, "Ye are of your father the devil," right? He was a murderer from the beginning. So let's go back to the beginning. And what beginning is Christ talking about? Christ is talking about the book of Genesis, right? Christ is actually quoting scriptures and cutting wicked Israelites with knowledge, right? The scriptures say what was written aforetime was written for our knowledge, right? So like it was written for our learning. You know what I'm saying? Paraphrasing, right? Christ quoted the Old Testament, right? So let's get into the beginning, right? The book of Genesis, what literally means the beginning, right? Let's go to Genesis, the 4th chapter. Okay. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. It's very important that y'all like, share, and subscribe so we can keep pushing this truth out. All right. What you need? All right. Okay, let's go to Cain and Abel, right? In the beginning. This is the book of Genesis chapter 4, and we're gonna start at verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Take it up there. Just take the whole thing up there and just give him a couple. Leave it out there in the hallway, right? So like, let me read that one more time. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord, right? So Adam uh, uh, has sex with his wife. She gets pregnant, and she gives birth to a son named Cain, all right? Verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground, right? So Cain, he planted stuff, right? He planted fruits and vegetables, and Abel was a shepherd. He took care of livestock, sheep, oxes, you know what I'm saying, so forth and so on, right? Verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord, right? So now, Cain brought an offering of fruit to the Lord, right? Which we understand that Adam already had the law of sacrifice. When you look into the history of what Noah did, right? When he understood that he was to eat clean animals and he was to give a sacrifice. These are all traditions passed down all the way from Adam up until Noah and to the time of the children of Israel. We had our nation when we had the law of sacrifice that was still in effect, right? But Cain, him being a wicked son, right? He took it upon himself to bring the Lord some fruits and vegetables, right? That's how you know the Lord is a black man, right? Like you bring a black man some fruits and vegetables to eat, that brother probably gonna look at you crazy, like nigga, where's the meat at? Salakia for my language, but brother, where's the meat at? You understand? Continuing on. Verse 4. And Abel he also brought of the fatlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, right? Now look, not only do you know that we had laws of sacrifice before the scriptures was actually written and before Moses started recording what was going on in his time, you can read it right here in Genesis the 4th chapter, because in order for us to have the mind frame to bring a offering unto the Lord, with these two brothers being the direct sons of Adam, they had to learn about animal sacrifices from their father. Just like Adam got the laws of sacrifice from the Lord, and uh, uh, all the all of the customs and the way to live that he practiced during his time before he switched it up and went against the Lord by listening to his wife in the Garden of Eden, right? Uh, verse 5. Well, Salakia, middle of verse 4. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. And the reason why the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering is because this is what the Lord wants a sacrifice to be. The Lord don't want no goddamn fruits and vegetables. You gonna grow fruits and vegetables, they gonna come and go. You understand? Like you gotta water them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really too much sacrifice that you have to do to maintain a damn garden. But to feed a animal, right? To nourish this animal and raise it up, like if you look at back in those times, sheep, cows, oxen, just like today, livestock is worth a lot of money. Your livestock is worth way more than fruits and vegetables. So you have to put more time and more effort into obtaining this type of wealth versus somebody going to bring a tomato or avocado or something like that to the Lord. When you go to the grocery store today, if you go buy two if you go buy two ribeye steaks, it's gonna run you probably about $30. Go buy two green bell peppers or two apples or two oranges. It's gonna be pennies compared to what that meat is worth. Because that meat, that livestock, it takes a whole lot of time, patience, money, effort in order for you to maintain those animals, right? But Salakia, verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Right? The Lord didn't respect Cain's offering. The Lord didn't give us the law of sacrifice to him, fruits and vegetables and lettuce and onions. Nah, the Lord wants a blood sacrifice. The Lord wants you to sacrifice your goodest, Salakia, your best, your lamb without blemish, so to speak, right? The Lord wants your best offering because why? Because he gave it to you. He allowed you to be able to maintain yourself by receiving the benefits that the Lord has given you to sustain yourself on planet Earth. So in turn, he wants the best from you because he gave you the best. All right. Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? The Lord said, look, if you do well, shouldn't you be accepted? Meaning, if you follow these law, statutes, and commandments, or this oral tradition that I gave to Adam to pass down to y'all, right? Salakia, won't you be accepted? All right. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, right? If you don't do well, man, sin is going to lie at your door, right? And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. All right. Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass. And when they were in the field, that and when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Right now, let's break this down. Right, I'm gonna go back up to verse 7. Right, because it was something heavy said in verse 7, and this is the reason why verse 8 played out how it played out. Right, if thou doest well, this is the book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Right? Now, if you do well, you're going to get great rewards. Right? If Cain would have done well, right, and Abel would have not done well, then Cain would have been basically the ruler over Abel. Cain would have been in higher favor of the Lord than Abel was. But nah, what happened was Abel actually followed what his father taught him, right? He did well, like he obeyed, right? And Cain didn't obey. Cain came to the Lord with fruits and vegetables and the stuff that's not a meat sacrifice to the Lord. And when I say a meat sacrifice, I meaning a good sacrifice, right? So what happened? Cain was not highly favored, so to speak, like Abel was. So in the Lord's eyes, Abel is over you, Cain. You understand? He has enough discipline to actually follow orders and do exactly what he's supposed to do, right? You don't, so he's going to be over you, right? And Cain was jealous of that. Cain was mad at that, right? Verse 8. And Cain talked with his brother Abel, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him, right? So with the events that transpired with the sacrifice, Cain was mad, right? Cain was not only mad, he was jealous of Abel because Abel was now over him, thus saith the Lord. So what did Cain do? Cain murdered his brother because of jealousy. Cain murdered his brother because his brother was righteous, right? The Lord chose him to be over him, and Cain was mad at that because he was unrighteous. All right. Reading on. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? This is the spirit that Cain has on him. First of all, he's a liar. He knows damn well he just killed his own flesh and blood brother. They got the same mama and daddy, and he murdered this brother just because he was jealous of what transpired because he did evil in the Lord's sight, right? So he lied to the Lord, right? I'm gonna read that again. And the Lord said unto Abel, where is Abel? Salaki, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Like, Cain had a fresh mouth with the Lord, right? He got smart with the Lord. He basically said in layman's terms, like, man, I don't know where dude at, bro. Like, I'm not his daddy, right? I don't know where he went. Like, what you asking me for? This is how he got at the Lord, right? Verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground, right? Now, the Lord, this is metaphorically speaking. The Lord knows exactly what we're doing, right? The Lord has angels ministering unto him and bringing him back reports, just like we got to report to the men above us in the ISUBK up under Commander General Yana, all right? So the Lord knows exactly what Abel did. When he asked him, where's your brother? It was basically just a trick question, a rhetorical question. And I know where your brother at. I know you murdered him, right? But Cain, being a liar, right, and being prideful, he lied to the Lord and got fresh at the mouth with the Lord, right? Verse 11, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood, right? Salakia. Verse 12, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall be, Salakia, shalt thou be in the earth, right? So the Lord said, look, when you go to plant these vegetables that you like to bring to me for sacrifices, you're not going to get what you're supposed to get because the earth is basically going to give you small quantities of the stuff that you're trying to grow, right? And this is a curse, right? It shall, Salakia, a fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth, right? A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. A fugitive is someone running from crimes, right? Someone running from justice. A vagabond is a person that has no home, right? That has no homeland, just goes to and fro, right? And we're gonna see who fits this description today, right? Because the spirit of Cain is still on planet Earth today, right? Salakia. Verse 13, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Verse 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a vagabond, so I can be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me, right? Verse 15, and the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord said, set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him shall kill him, right? So the Lord set a mark upon Cain. First of all, Salakia, the Lord said, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. Meaning, these are the descendants of Cain, right? The people that come from Cain at this time, right? You kill one of their people, seven of his descendants or seven of his family members are going to try to come hunt you. This is the spirit of Cain bestowed on the so-called Caucasian man who comes from Esau, right? What happens? What happened in the movie Birth of a Nation, right? Nat Turner killed those white people, right? Then when they finally caught him, it was about 77 amount of white people waiting to hang him and kill him for what he did, right? If you kill a police officer, right? If any brother kills a police officer, or any sister kills a police officer, any person on planet Earth kills a police officer, right? In this country that we live in, what's gonna happen? You're gonna have a large amount of people That's police officers to come avenge the death of their fallen officer, right? And this is the spirit of Cain, right? It's like it says, and the Lord shall set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him, right? That mark upon Cain is Salakia, is leprosy, right? That mark upon Cain is leprosy, right? The original definition of leprosy. You know what I'm saying? Basically, Cain was turned into a red skinned man, right? Same spirit that this devil has on him today. All right. But Salakia, let me see. Right. I'm gonna drop that. Let's go to Genesis, the 25th chapter. Let's get to Jacob and Esau. All right. Genesis, the 25th chapter, and we're gonna go to verse 20. All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, and verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived, right? So Isaac went to go pray to the Lord because his wife, Rebekah, she was unable to bear children, right? So he went to go pray to the Lord. The Lord heard his prayer, right? And he allowed Isaac to get his rib Rebekah pregnant, right? And she conceived, right? Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Now, at the time of her being pregnant, she don't know that she got twins in her womb, but she's praying to the Lord, right? Like, why am I in so much pain if this child that you've given me is coming from you? Why does it hurt so much, right? Salakia. Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now let's break this down. The Lord said two nations are in your womb, right? The nation is the root word for nationality, which means race. Like this is two different races of people in your womb. And we're gonna figure out that Esau is basically the progenitor of these Edomites or these so-called Caucasians today. All right. It says, two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now, of course, we know that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are extremely stronger than our Caucasian counterpart. We number one in all the sports, right? We number one in everything, right? We survived for almost 500 years of slavery and still surviving to this day at the hands of this damn oppressor. All right. Salakia. And it says, and the elder shall serve the younger, right? The elder one is going to return. This elder one is going to serve the younger one. All right. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, right? That red all over like a hairy garment, man, this is the so-called Caucasian man. If you go look at a white man in the deep south, he got excessive hair growing on his back. They call him a redneck, right? That's what they call him, right? This is just a term that somebody came up with. I'm not sure who came up with the term, but it's a pretty accurate term. They call him a redneck, like his skin is red. So like his skin is translucent, right? You can see the blood through this devil's skin, right? It say he came out red all over like a hairy garment, right? So we got a red and hairy little boy, right? That came out, and it's a reason why they had to explain his appearance because he don't look like nobody else. And that spirit of that mark that was set upon Cain, it's seeming like this is the same type of spirit that was brought back into the earth on Esau, because Esau is marked as well. He's marked and born with leprosy, right? Salakia. And it says, and they called his name Esau. And after that, his brother came out and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him, right? So Jacob and Esau, they fighting in the womb, right? And that's a metaphor for Jacob holding onto Esau's heel. It's another scripture that says, "For Jacob is the beginning of the world." So like it, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that follows. Right? Because we to rule after Esau's kingdom is cut down, right, and non-existent ever again, and we're gonna rule planet Earth uh for eternity. You know what I'm saying? Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah, right? Salakia. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Man, look at this spirit that Esau got on him. He was a cunning hunter, right? A man of the field. Where did they find where was Cain at? He was in the field growing fruits and vegetables. Of course, he was a hunter. He hunted his own damn brother down and killed him because he was jealous of him, right? Salakia. Verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob, right? Salakia. So, you know what I'm saying? It's the spirit, same spirit that Cain had on him, right? And I'm just giving y'all the characteristic of Esau, you know what I'm saying, as a man, right? Now let's get into Genesis. Salakia. I'm gonna keep going. And Jacob side pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. So Esau's cooking the stew. I mean, Salakia. Jacob is cooking the stew. Esau came in from the field, and he was faint. You know what I'm saying? He was hungry. You know what I'm saying? Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom. And the word Edom, right, or Adawam in the Hebrew means red, right? So he said, "Man, look, let me get some of that undone stew, right, with that raw rare meat up in it. I'm finna die. I'm hungry. Let me get some of that, right?" Verse 31. And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?" Verse 33. And Jacob said, "Swear to me this day," and he swore to him, and he sold him his birthright. So like, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Now Esau wasn't at the point of dying. You know what I'm saying? He's just a lustful, greedy bastard because he has the same type of spirit on him as the first murderer in the beginning, which was Cain, right? So like we could drop that. I'm gonna go to Genesis chapter 12. Genesis chapter 27. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, "My son." And he said unto him, "Behold, here I am." And he said, "Behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go unto the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die." And Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it, right? So I ain't gonna go over Genesis, the whole 27th chapter, for time's sake, because it's gonna be kind of short. So basically what's going on is Isaac is up in age, right? He can't really see like that. He at the point to where he's about to die. You understand? So he like Esau, right? As we just read in Genesis, the 25th chapter. Isaac loved Esau because Esau brought back that food. He brought that animal. You understand? He brought back. He was a skilled hunter. He went out there, went to go get venison and sheep. You understand? And brought it back to the family so they can eat good, right? So as Isaac is basically laying on his deathbed because he don't know which day he gonna die. He like, man, look, son, check this out. Go out there, go give me some venison, right? And make me some savory meat. That meat you know I like so much, right? And my soul is gonna bless you. I'm going to give you a blessing from the Lord, right? So Esau, he go on his way. You know what I'm saying? Right? So Rebecca overhears the conversation, right? Salaki, I'm gonna read a little bit of that. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord, Salaki, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Verse 8. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. Now, the Lord already told Rebekah, the elder shall serve the younger. The Lord already knows this, right? I mean, Salakia, Rebecca already knows this because the Lord has told her this, right? So a lot of these fake Christians and fake Israelites be like, oh, Rebecca deceived her husband by no. This was ordained by God. And another thing that Rebecca understood was she understood that Esau was her son, but Esau was not her family. You understand? When I say Esau was not her family, Esau was not Esau was that other nation that was in her womb, right? Not saying that she got pregnant by another man or some crazy nonsense like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Esau is not going to be the nation that upholds the legacy of her family. It's going to be Jacob, right? Because when you go to our forefathers, it's not Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Esau. It's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that's where it stops, right? So Rebecca understood that this child is chosen of the Lord. This child, these children were given me by the Lord, but this child is chosen by the Lord, right? And she understood that, right? So she come up with a plan while Esau out hunting to get the blessing given to its rightful owner, right? Because this gonna be a huge blessing that Jacob is going to receive from his father, right? And she understood that the blessing was supposed to go to him. Thus saith the Lord, because the elder shall serve the younger, right? So she come up with a plan for Jacob to get the blessing, right? Now let's read this blessing that Jacob got, right? Verse 28. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Now, Isaac just gave Jacob the greatest blessing on planet earth. Isaac just made Jacob and his descendants God's chosen people. Of course, the Lord ordained this to happen, but it came from Isaac, who was a man of God, right? That was willing, that was willing to do everything that the Lord required him to do, that he was taught by his son. I mean, Salakia, that he was taught by his father, Abraham, right? So this blessing is the kingdom of heaven. This blessing is we rule the planet Earth. This blessing is Christ coming back from the loins of Jacob and restoring the planet Earth up under the feet, under the children of Israel, right? In the kingdom of heaven. This blessing is every nation on planet Earth being in servitude to the children of Israel. This blessing is generational wealth for eternity, right? This is what the Lord gave to Jacob, right? Now let's drop down to Esau's blessing because Esau got a blessing as well, right? Esau came in, right? And Salakia. Let's read a little bit, right? Uh, verse 30, verse 31, verse 30. And it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce going out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting. So after Isaac gets his blessing, after Isaac gives the blessing to Jacob, Jacob get up out of there, man, quick, real fast, right? As soon as he got up out of there, after he got his blessing, here come Esau coming in with his food, right? And he also made savory meat and brought it unto his father and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of thy son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. Verse 32. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. Verse 33. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he? And said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And brought it me? And I have eaten of all before you camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. So Isaac get at Esau like, look, man, it was another dude that just came in here and gave me the venison that I wanted, and I blessed him, right? Like, and he's going to be blessed, thus saith the Lord, right? Verse 34. And when Esau heard these words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry and said unto his father, bless me, even me, O my father. Right? So Esau, he cried to the Lord, like, man, look, I mean, to his father, like, please bless me. Please bless me. I need that blessing, right? So I'm going to drop down, right? Verse 40. Verse 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above, right? So his dwelling should be the fatness of the earth too, and the dew of the heaven of the earth above. Man, you're going to live deliciously. You understand, right? Kind of sound familiar, but check this out. Verse 40. And by the sword shalt thou live and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck, right? So he said, by the sword shall you live, right? Meaning you gonna slaughter people for your blessing. You're going to be able to, you're going to be a murderer. Your descendants that come after you are going to be murderers. Just like I just read in John 8:44. He was a murderer from the beginning. You're gonna have the spirit of Cain on you, Esau, in so many words, right? Salaki, I'm gonna read that again. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? So you're gonna live by the sword, and you're gonna have to serve the children of Israel. When you got the dominion, you're gonna break that yoke of iron off your neck. And that happened during the time of Solomon. Because when King David was still alive, the children of Israel had the Edomites in subjection unto us. All right. Right? Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein his father blessed him. Same thing that happened with Cain and Abel. Same thing. Abel was hated by Cain because the Lord chose him to be Lord over Cain, and he had respect unto Abel's offering because Abel did right inside of the Lord. So he got mad, right? Same thing here. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob, right? He want to kill his brother just like Cain killed Abel. This is the same exact spirit that these devils have on them today, right? The same spirit, right? They mad, they jealous that the Lord has chosen blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to be the rulers over planet Earth, or the Lord has chose us to be his special people, and for that they hate blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The scriptures say they have a perpetual hatred for us, right? They've been taught through generations and lifetimes to hate blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And where do you think this come from? This come from Esau, right? This is passed down from generations to generation to generation, right? And I'm definitely going to have to do a part 2 on this class, right? Let's go. Let's go to the book of First Samuel, chapter 18, because it was a couple of brothers in the nation of Israel that had the spirit of Esau on them too. One being King Saul, right? He had the spirit of Esau on him for a hot second, right? Salakia. So this is after. I'm gonna give you a little quick context. I'm gonna try to run through this really quick, right? This is after David defeated Goliath, right? And David earned himself some rank by doing a valiant act in this war against the Philistines, right? Which these is Hamites, Canaanites, right? So David is the captain over Saul's army, right? Salakia. Yeah. David was the captain over Saul's army, right? So let's read a little bit. And it came to this is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 6 and verse 8. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 18, and we're gonna start at verse 5. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants, right? So David given some fame because of how he conducted himself in this war, right? So like here. Verse 6. And it came to pass as they came, when David returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities of Israel singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. Verse 7. And the women answered one another and as they played, and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? So what happened was David was a valiant warrior. So was Saul, right? Now, these sisters that was in joy from what our men were doing to these other nations in war and in battle, and basically keeping us from being oppressed to these nations. They seen that Saul was killing thousands, but David was killing 10,000. They gave David more glory than Saul because Saul was not as valiant and brave as David, right? David, you got to remember, when David was a young dude, he went and killed Goliath. Goliath was the head of the Philistines' army, right? He was a big, gigantic Hamite, right? That's like Allen Iverson going to go kill Manute Bol in a battle, right? You know what I'm saying? So when David was seeing the type of fame, I mean, Salakia, when Saul was seeing the type of fame that David was getting, and more fame than him in his own kingdom, Saul was very displeased at that. He didn't like that at all, right? Verse 10, Salakia, verse 9. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward, right? Where they at? Right? So Saul was jealous of David, and he started looking at him with an evil eye. He started looking at him like, man, I don't like this dude right here. He had the spirit of being jealous on him, right? Verse 10. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with in his hand, and David played with his hand as at other times. And there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice, right? So Saul tried to kill David twice, right? Because of jealousy and envy. He tried to murder his brother because his brother did valiant acts in war and got praise from the children of Israel. He got praise from the women that were singing songs about us winning in battle over King Saul. So Saul, like, man, hold on. They saying he killed tens of thousands and only killed thousands. Man, it ain't nothing he can't have. This brother can take the whole kingdom from me. Man, I gotta kill him. I gotta go in and get David about the way, man. This dude doing too much. That's jealousy, that's envy, that's hatred. You understand? That's the spirit of Cain. That's the spirit that Cain had on his brother when Cain did wrong in the sight of the Lord, right? When Abel did right inside of the Lord, Abel was rewarded for that, right? And Cain didn't like that at all. So what did he do? He slew him. Just like David trying to do to Saul. Just like Saul's trying to do to David right now, right? Just like Esau does to blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans every single day in this empire, right? Just like Esau thought in his heart, man, I'm going to murder Jacob after our father passes and the time of his mourning has ceased, right? I'm going to murder him, right? Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing 2 and 3 parts of this because it's a lot of stories about the spirit of Cain in this Bible, right? Let's go to Psalm chapter 55 and verse 21. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. The words of our oppressor's mouth are smoother than butter, but it's war in his heart, right? You got so-called presidents and political leaders in this country, basically saying that we should all live together in perfect harmony, and you should forgive and forget, and this is the melting pot, and we're all human beings and we all equal. Meanwhile, they slaughtering blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in the ghetto with racist police officers. They taking crafty counsel against us by pushing drugs in our communities, right? They're indoctrinating our sisters to murder their babies with the hopes of having a better life. This is war. This is war raised on blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? They deporting our brothers and sisters back to hellish conditions in a lot of these Central and South American countries. When this place that we live in Northern America, this is the land of all of our brothers and sisters in the Northern Kingdom. This is the land of the Guatemalans. This is the lands of the Mexicans. This is the land of the tribe of Gad, the so-called North American Indian. And you know how these damn devils got this land and was able to kick our brothers and sisters out and tell them they can't come here unless they got a green card, or call them an illegal alien if they catch them on the side of this border and they wasn't born here. They took this by war, right? They took this place from raping, robbing, and murdering people. They waged war on the Northern Kingdom. They waged war on the Southern Kingdom. Man, our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And this same devil has the spirit of a murderer and a liar, just like his forefather in spirit Cain. Because of course Esau is not the reincarnation of Cain. We don't teach that in the school, but he does have the spirit of Cain, right? He's not a blood descendant of Cain, right? But he does have the same murdering, jealous, evil, lying spirit that Cain had on him. You understand? I'm gonna go ahead and end it for the time being. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna be doing probably a 2, 3, 4 part series to the Spirit of Cain, right? Just for time's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barak thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Lathan by Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Shalom, Israel.